All right, Fahad. So I think we can start. People will join this new video shortly.
Okay,
I've
okay,
shared it.
great.
Okay. Yeah. Just
Okay,
go ahead
so
from
I'll,
the
I'll
start.
start back from the introduction. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I'm Fahad Rajpar, and I'm a photographer. Earlier this year, I got diagnosed with clinical depression, and ever since then, I have been struggling with it, and day by day, it's getting better with the help of therapy, with the help of medication as well. So, my purpose of coming live with you was to get across this message about all of the taboo that is attached to mental health in in our society, basically. How
Yeah.
people are reluctant and they just don't want to think about it. They're like, अच्छा परेशानी है डोंट सोचो मत खत्म हो जाएगी आई थिंक this whole process is the worst thing that has ever happened to humans. Do not think, let it be there. I think it only builds up, and one day
Yeah.
or the other, if your body is a pipe. It has to, you send out water and it goes out on the other way. But what we are
Right.
making it is a bottle. We keep certain things, we don't let them go out, we bottle them up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
eventually there is a certain capacity in the bottle. So it is gonna burst up and be like, yeah, that's only much I could take. So
Yeah.
yeah, so basically to sort of create awareness and give people the confidence कि mental health issue or people thinking कि यार पागल है या XYZ whatsoever. Like, I don't understand why don't people get it कि your brain is just as much part of your body as is your stomach or your arms or your legs and XYZ. So why not take that
Yeah.
seriously? Sometimes,
Definitely.
yeah. So basic, like I'll only talk about myself. So when it came to me, I was going through lack of interest. I wouldn't feel like getting out of bed. It was a big deal to get out of bed for me. No matter how much I've slept, no matter how relaxed I am, but I would basically go through it, and it was a total struggle to sort of gather yourself up and then go to work. And back when I got diagnosed, I was running a restaurant, so that whole stress and then the mental stress, it took a really bad toll on me. That left side of my body, it started hurting really bad. And
Oh.
everyone is educated enough these days, so I automatically thought, yeah, it's the left side that's hurting, I might as well go and get ECG. So I got a couple
Right.
of them done, yeah, and then I went through the intensive, ETT and whatnot, but nothing really worked. And then when I met my psychiatrist, and so we were having a conversation, and they told me that your stress, your anxiety, your depression can actually trigger the physical pains in the body,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
that
But
that
at what point you thought of going to a psychiatrist? Like, what were the real symptoms that really drag you to go into the psychiatrist clinic?
it was borderline not taking care of myself. And I think, I honestly, if you ask me, I have been thinking of seeing one for past 4 years. But
Okay.
when my friends saw me going really, in such a condition, so they were like, now about time you go see one.
Right.
So, and because there is so much taboo attached to it, you just don't want to go, because you know that the moment you're going to be there, people are going to instantly label you. And of course, that hits you as a human being because you want to walk around with the world. So,
Yeah,
and I think that is that is a toxic kind of people that we don't need in our lives. Because if,
that is completely
yeah,
true.
yeah, because if they don't want you to get better and if they want to call you names, you really need to think twice or as many times as you would like to kind of
Yeah,
get rid of them. Because the real people around you, the people who want to help you, will push you and to get better. So I went to my psychiatrist and I did not start off with my medication again because of the same reason. I was like, बहुत मसले होते हैं लोगों को and there are so many side effects and whatnot. So I went to her 4 times just to let her know my consent. But every time I would go and come back, I would come back home more confused. Like she probably did everything in her power to make me understand, but it literally took me 4 visits just to go and talk about it. And before that, I had started my therapy. So basically, sole
right.
reason. So my therapy was going really well, and I had started doing really better. Apparently, they have these charts where they sort of evaluate you and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
and then when I went back the 4th time, she was like, "I don't really think you need medication if you're doing so well on the therapy. So why pop pills and if you could do better like this."
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I was like, okay, great. If I'm getting a hold of myself, I don't see a point either. But I think about 3 months down the lane, I told you about the pains that I started having in the left arm. They got
yeah,
so severe, they got so severe that they would induce a panic attack. Because even though at this point I knew that I do not have a heart related issue, but
mm-hmm.
back of the mind you do get कि यार अगर ये नहीं है तो क्या है, because there is no report for anything, there is nothing coming out and you've gone through everything
Yeah,
intensive.
right.
So that is the time I decided कि यार maybe there are you know uh, what do you call, I can't find the particular word for it, but it has to do with the brain and things like that. So basically, there are ups and
Okay.
downs. There, it has a lot to do with the serotonin levels to kind of, make them on raise them or lower them down and things like that works differently in everyone's case.
Yeah,
So that's when I decided. That's when I decided because I started going to a gastric doctor. I was like, maybe it is the gastro pain. It was none of that, and then I started my medication with the psychiatrist, and it worked out really well for me. And Alhamdulillah, I don't have that pain anymore. It sometimes does come back, but now I don't let it control me, and that I
yeah,
would thank for. Now I would thank my therapist for that because a lot of balance and sort of understanding of life has
right.
come from come from her. I feel like my understanding level is broadened and I can understand people really well, and even myself. I can understand myself really well as well. So basically, going through the therapy process, uh, it changes you, and it makes you, I don't know, it is always within you whatever you are, but it kind of brings the best in you and you get to know about yourself and how you function and whatnot. So
Right.
that's how my initial process was, and I'm still going through it, and it's really nice. Basically, it's really nice. But I just feel like I
Okay.
hope that someone who knows me and people who are watching me who know me really well, because a lot of my friends have gained the confidence. Okay, yaar, okay, you Fahad, we saw you back then and we see you now. It's a clear difference.
Right.
So that sort of confidence is the reason that I'm here, and I would want people to ask me anything they would want to, know about it, and
Right.
they're not clear about. So I can explain whatever I went through. Maybe that will give them a clearer image.
Right. In the last video, we had a question that somebody was saying that he's unable to sleep since last year. So, and he was
Hmm.
asking is if insomnia is a mental issue. So I don't know if you know the terminologies. So maybe that's one of the symptoms that you have a lack of sleep that you were saying. You're It's really hard to get out of
Symptoms
bed.
can be different. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, symptoms
If it,
definitely.
yeah.
I have done some research. I have two research
Hmm.
papers, which is
Hmm.
clearly on Pakistani statistics. I'm
Okay.
not talking about US statistics because in USA it's completely different. People do not shy, or people do not being discriminated by just telling that I am having some mental illness or mental health issue. Now,
Hmm.
I was reading the definition. What is a mental illness? And the
Hmm.
funny part was when I came to know, it is a physical illness of the brain.
It
So
it is. Yeah.
as you were saying, yeah. So as you were saying that we have a headache, we have any kind of a pain, we take painkiller. We have a headache, we take painkiller of the headache. Definitely. So when we have something in the mental issue, why don't we consider it as a physical? Because definitely it is going to cause you more physical pain. And not only that, it is going to hurt your routine life. As you were saying,
It
you were running
it
a
does.
restaurant,
It
you were running,
Yeah.
you had to hang out with friends, you had to drive. So the biggest risk in your life is that definitely one of the biggest is that you are driving. So you're not only causing the trouble to yourself, but the people on the road as well,
Yeah.
maybe the
There
pedestrians.
is there is basically you lose the balance of your life. Nothing is going right then.
Yeah,
Nothing is
right,
going
right.
right. Like
So,
you would sometimes you would just want to
yeah, coming
isolate
back
yourself
to,
because you think so. Sorry.
yeah, no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was saying sometimes you end up isolating yourself in this feeling, thinking, कि यार, it's not happening to a lot of people, but it's happening to me. And I might as well, quit on this active life and just crawl back in my cocoon and do whatever I want to do. Or, and that's
Right,
sort of a guilt that you have about yourself. And it is a phase, it passes out, and if you can ask for help in that time, I think that's the best thing one can do. But that too takes a lot of courage to sort of sit down with themselves and accept okay, there's something wrong, and it's not a physical pain, it's not a chort or anything. It has something to do with my mental health, that I can't sleep, I can't function well, even though if I'm sitting in a group of people, I feel lost.
right, right.
Yeah.
So, Fahad, when you were saying that you were at a phase where you wanted to say something about it, definitely your friends. But prior to friends, we have family members that we discuss this. These they are the closest ones. And I got a quotation from this journalist. She wrote a letter. She wrote a research paper on this mental health awareness back in 2015, and it was published in the Dawn newspaper. So she says, even when the patients recognize their symptoms, overcome the stigma, gain the support of their families, and start looking for medical help, there simply isn't much help to be had from the family. Now, that's very common that you don't get help from the family, not only help in financial, but the moral support. Now, it can be vice versa as well. The family wants to support and the patient is not willing to. So those are the cases as well. So how challenging it was for you in order for you to go into a therapy, or for in order for you to go in to see a psychiatrist from the family
um
perspective or from the
it
friends.
was not a problem at all. I would say Baba was a little worried, of course, um, but he never really stopped me. then my sisters who are watching me, they have been really supportive. And the first day I went, they know of it. Even the first therapy I came out of it, they know of it. And usually I do discuss what goes on in my therapy with them. So I do have a great support from them, and and it is really sad that the fact that you're talking about is actually right, because and that is because people don't take it seriously. People,
R-
yeah, I I just feel like they don't even think the brain is part of your body or something sometimes.
Right, right.
Okay,
We really have to take care of
yeah.
it as much as we do for the heart and other parts. Definitely.
Yeah, and they would be okay. So there was this friend of mine who earlier got diagnosed, and his parents went really crazy and things like that. And they were like, "Oh, so what are you doing? Why are you doing it?" And mashallah, 2 months down the lane, he's doing so better that I think I'm sure they must be really happy about it, but they don't tell.
Mhm. Right, right. So you said it took you 4 weeks just to decide whether you
Four, not
wanted
even
to take
four
a
weeks.
therapy.
It took me
Four
like
weeks,
four visits. Four
four
visits,
visits,
and that
right?
was about a time span of 2 months.
2 months. So
Meanwhile,
it
I
was
was going through
only
therapy.
right. So it was only you were convincing yourself. Nobody, there was no peer pressure.
Not none at all, none at all,
Okay,
because
okay.
I wanted to take time for myself to sort of figure out, KR, if I'm consuming something, is it even, is it good for me? Is it bad for me? I did look up for it, and
Right,
things like that, and kind of was good.
right, right. So Mirlela says that 34% of Pakistani population are affected with mental health issues. And according to the
I'm
research and
sorry,
study
I
conducted at
can't
Aga
read
Khan
it.
Hospital, okay, I'm reading it for you. So the study and
Sure.
conducted at Aga Khan back in 2016, according to the study, women suffer more compared to men. So women is 57%, men are 33% from mental health. And sad part is that 15% of the children population is suffering too. Now, this is what the research paper of Maham Javed. She's a journalist, a columnist, and she writes on psychological problems. So this is what she has to say as well. And I would like to add something to Laila's information as well. That Fahad, just to let you know, in Pakistan and prior to Pakistan, back in 1912, there was a
Okay.
Lunacy Act, right?
Okay.
And under this act, they were treating the prisoners suffering from mental health. They were getting the lawyers and they were getting the doctors because the
I'm
most
sorry.
common
I
you, you lost my voice.
yeah. Sorry. The act of lunacy. Can you please continue back from then? I think the voice started breaking up.
Yeah, so Lunacy Act was came into picture back
Okay.
prior to Pakistan. I was saying prior to when the partition, and the basic purpose of that act was to treat the prisoners.
Okay.
Okay, so at that
And
time, the most
what would
common
they do
mental
to
health
them?
issues, they were giving them doctors, they were giving them therapy, okay, and they were inside of the jail or something like that, so they were getting the treatment because most of the prisoners were
No.
the ones who were affected from mental health, because at that time the prisoners were just like slaves. They had to run ships for months and months
Hmm.
without food and water. So they
Mm-hmm.
were
Mm-hmm.
suffering from mental health issues. They don't see the family members at all. So those kind of stories, that act was made for them. But later, when Pakistan was freed from the British rule, this act was carried forward, okay, and it was carried forward up until 1982 or 1992, where the prisoners were getting this treatment. But the issue came into picture where the judges of Pakistan or the judiciary of Pakistan was not even aware enough to pass this act or maybe give the prisoners their ability or the chance to get treatment. Why? Because they were thinking that they are faking, because a lot of people just fake on their mental illness while they are either prisoners or while they wanted to achieve something from their family, or anything, when they are in love they wanted to act like they're lunatics or something like that. So I really wanted to get married. So these kind of fakeness came into picture, and that's where this act was just going into the black and white papers only. So while I was reading her paper, she also writes that when in 2001, back in 2001, there is a
Mm-hmm.
organization called Mental Health Ordinance. It's a world level
Mm-hmm.
organization that came to
Yeah.
Pakistan, did the consensus, talked to psychiatrists, talked to psychological trainers, coaches, and collected statistics. And from 2001, this work has been started, and they came to know that definitely there are not only prisoners, but the normal people walking around, you, me, the audience watching, everyone is suffering from this mental health issue somewhere or the
Mm-hmm.
other. So it's not
Of
just one
course, yeah.
person, but the only problem that we have in our country, that first thing you
Is
mentioned, definitely nobody
mhm.
encourages, nobody gives you awareness that, okay, this is a symptom, you should go to a psychiatrist. What they do if you have a mental
I think
imbalance or not
psychiatrist
balanced
has
approach?
become this scary form of doctor, which
Yeah,
which
yeah,
people just don't want to go to. They're like psychiatrist. Oh my god.
yeah.
So
No, but the funny thing is, definitely a lot of people don't have awareness, even though when they do mashwara. So if you're going to ask me, yeah, Ali, I having this issue and all that, first thing I'm gonna see or tell you, go see a spiritual doctor. Go for a spiritual therapy. Okay? Go for exorcism, evil spirits, experimentations with herbal cures and all that. That jhadu and all, go to
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
things and all. So I'm not saying that. This is in the paper. And
yeah.
you can see this. I've highlighted all this. So this is what the research on the World Health Organization was saying. And after that,
Wha-
after that 2001, that Lunacy Act came back, but with more enhancement. So you might want to learn about that Lunacy Act. It exists in Pakistan, but definitely the act belongs to more to the prisoners. But when it comes to us, like normal guys, which are free, definitely it is all it takes is awareness and raising an issue that definitely we are having an issue and we have to talk about it. And first thing, we talk to the parents or maybe family members or the best friends, or maybe if you are married, you talk to your wife, or vice versa. And definitely other person has to acknowledge. Okay, let's take a question. You want to add
yeah,
on
I was.
something?
No, I'm just reading question. He says, "Have you ever encountered insomnia?" I have not. No, am I live? What's up? It's stuck. Okay, cool. So, Jogi Asad Rajpar. Asad, I have not encountered insomnia because I did feel 5 years ago that, oh, it's insomnia, but it wasn't really. I think it's a really bad condition. And one thing we shouldn't do is diagnose ourselves. There are doctors sitting out there. We should always go to them. Again, अगर ऐसा अकेला वहीं सकूँ था confidently, if you're not feeling okay, just walk in. What is the worst that could happen? And just go get yourself checked. Why can't I find the Baba related question, Lopa?
Yeah, if you go a little bit up, when he has written a Sindhi comment right after the
Oh,
encounter on Somnia,
I
he's saying,
I
let
can't
me read it
find
for
it
you.
since.
Okay,
Sure.
let me read it for you. He's saying, how would you place the people who go to local Baba or Peer for
Hmm.
their mental disorders as they assume it's a demon. No, it's very unusual to comment something because it's the
I
belief that they
don't.
have, and that's what we are trying to aware.
Honestly, I don't really have an answer for it. So I can't really say anything about it. But I think it's a lack of education.
So unfortunately, we are exactly. Even though lack of education, you can't blame the education. It's the right kind of education. Everybody gets
Perhaps
creative.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I don't
So
understand is
definitely.
if they're going to see a doctor, they get judged and everything. If they're going to Baba, no one judges them. How does that work?
Now here's the answer. Here's the answer. Now
Yeah.
this is written for the students, but it can relate to us as well. So she says, the Maham Javed says, students are discouraged from specialization in psychiatry because compared with other medical fields, it is seen as less prestigious. Now, it is a prestige issue for many people who are having mental issues. Definitely, we can relate. I can be wrong. I'm not an expert. But what I can think of, including me, I have seen my very, very, very close relatives doing the same thing, going to the Babas because of this mental disorders that we are having. And I'm not ashamed to say that, yes, we are one of them. We have done a lot of things like that. We wanted to go to this dargah, we want to go to that Baba and take the medicine from him. We don't know how hygienic it is, but we are ashamed of going to the psychiatrist because people will label us a lunatic or people will call us mad. We are not. We wanted to keep our prestige high. That's what we are trying to do. So to the
Okay,
answer, Yogi.
Alvera has written something. She's like, do let, okay, guys, she's studying to become a doctor. She's in her final year. And she's saying, um, not sleeping for almost 3 months makes you eligible to be called insomniac. So, again, I would say go seek professional help. But according to this girl who is studying to become one, you are probably having the symptoms of it. Maybe there's
Definitely,
more to
yeah, a
it you
good
can
reference.
discuss.
Thank you, Alvera. Yeah, thank you, Alvera, for bringing that point. So, if somebody is having a sleep not more than 3 months, you should go see a doctor before
And Laila
coming to
is
any
saying
point.
she would like to share 8 main reasons why people do not seek mental health issues. Something. Hopefully.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
She should, she should,
Algira, I've
she
been
should
not
share.
properly sleeping since 2017 February due to a hurricane came into my. Okay, I can't read. Can you please read it out?
Uh, okay. So it's not Algira, it's Alvera, first of all. And I have been not properly sleeping since 2017 February due to some hurricane came into my life till now. Okay, so Asad Jogi Rajpar definitely should not wait any more time. Just go seek a help
Yeah.
from a medical expert.
Yes,
Fahim
please do. And
Rajpar has said something.
yeah, what is it saying?
Let's say what he's saying. Bro, I can quote you so many movies related to this topic. The thing you're talking about prisoners, the Shawshank Redemption, give you the idea how it came about. The word they use is rehabilitation because so many prisoners were there for prison for life and they've become un un what is that, institutionalized. Okay, okay, makes sense. Thank you, Fahim, for adding the information. Or you can
There,
watch the
there.
latest series. Yeah, good.
What series
Let's
is
say.
it? What series is he
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah. He says, or you can watch the latest series, 13 Reasons Why, on Netflix. It's all about mental health issues or bullying. Oh,
Hmm.
we definitely missed the bullying part. In
Uh
USA,
huh.
the main cause of mental health issues in
Uh huh.
teenagers
Yeah.
is conducted. I have written a paper here. 46% of the teenagers are suffering from mental disorder due to bullying in the schools. And this is a
Okay.
high cause of depression or anxiety in USA. I don't know about Pakistan because I don't think so that inside of a
Yeah.
school you get
In
that much of
Pakistan,
bullying.
they're not even paying attention to something that is so important. That one day I was speaking to a friend of mine who's a doctor. So he said fairly koi agar he read some research or something. He said सारे कोई 500 लोगों के लिए पाकिस्तान में एक psychiatrist है. If you go about on a
Okay.
ratio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think it's
No,
500
no, no.
or
It is
but he
more than
said
that. It's no, no, no. It is more than that. Maybe nowadays it has been changed, but 2016, it
huh.
was 12,000 people.
Yeah, so and you know what he said 12,000 भी ये वो है जो उन्होंने लिखा है but it's probably more than that Fahad because
Yeah.
if I'm like even if I'm studying like he's studying and he said मेरे batch में there are not a lot of people who's taken it up and it is actually looked
Yeah.
down upon by teachers by students and every like so people don't even want to become one there is so much attached to it now. I
Right.
think
Right. That's true.
I think to make all of this better, the counseling should be available for everyone, and a sad reality is that it's really expensive. That not everyone can afford it either. It's really I
Definitely.
don't know about how
And I
it
agree
goes
to that.
on in
In
I don't know
USA,
how it
it's
goes
not
on in
that.
USA. Hmm.
No, no, no. It's not that expensive, or people do encourage for you. And even though one thing that I'm gonna tell you, it's a good thing. That's why I'm sharing. I don't share a lot of good things about USA, but something which is related to the topic that if you're working in an office, they give you off time to go see a doctor if you're looking a psychiatrist, and it is not. It is paid. It is a paid leave. It is a paid hours. You can go. If you wanted to see a lawyer, you are having any issues with the government or maybe a court or something, they give you a paid leave for that. You can go. So they don't
That's a really
discourage you,
nice
they
thing.
encourage. Yeah,
And
so
you
you
know
really have
what?
to tell.
This has started happening here as well.
Mhm.
In a certain institutions where people have started taking mental health as seriously as physical. And
Right,
yes,
right,
they would tell you to take a break and it's okay to not be okay.
right, right. I don't know if you heard the story, but there was a funny story in her paper, Maham Javed. You must read this article. It's very funny and
Sure, link me
informative
to
as
it.
well. Yeah, she wrote she wrote a name of a political figure when he was 27 years of age, and he's running a very big party. So she wrote that he was suffering from bipolar disorder while he was 27, and he was taking a
Okay.
therapy, but nobody disclosed it because many of us think that it is a branded lunatic psychopath label on him, and the other, you know, uh, the other parties are on the opposition are trying to put
Yeah,
some
they might as
lunatic
well use it
labels
against
on
him.
him against him. So that's why they were not promoting his therapy, and he was like away for a while. But it is a complete media. I don't know. It was a doubt or something because nothing came into picture officially. And she also said something which I wanted to add into your information that definitely. She said in Pakistan's budget, only 2.4% of the budget is allocated to the health out of 100%.
To
And out
health
of that
or mental
2.4,
health? Oh, okay, okay,
no,
okay,
just
okay.
health,
Oh, okay.
just health. Now I can be wrong, but it's in the paper. She says
Mm-hmm.
2.4% is going towards the health, and out of that 2.4, only 2% goes to mental health. Now look at the ratio where these government funding, of what do you say, capacity or facilities to the people, then how can they go and get this treatment or therapy very cheap? Definitely, it's very expensive for them because of this government issue that they are not supporting this mental health.
Ali has
That's sad.
Ali is the friend I was talking about, and he has written down something. Again, I can't see the full comment. I don't know what's up with the phone,
Okay.
but can you read it
Ali
out?
Tariq.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. So he says, yes, the ratio is very messed up. mental health awareness is severely lacking. Also, the worst thing that you can do to yourself is go into a cycle of self blame and not seek help. Or talk about how, wait, talking about, okay, not seek help or talk about how you feel. Talking about it solves half of the problem. That's very one good point. Talking about it is a half of the problem solved. And anyone
That's what
suffering from
therapy is
such
about.
issues, yeah.
Yeah.
So he also says the problem, and anyone suffering from such issues shouldn't be ashamed of how expressing how they feel. The most important thing to know is that's okay to not feel okay. Very good thing. Uh, it's a very good point, by the way, Ali Tariq. That's all. You want to say something on that?
Uh, I don't want to say anything about it. We talk a lot, so I probably buy everything and endorse it, whatever he's saying. So, bro, I
Yeah,
wouldn't suggest
definitely.
anyone to say shrink what we call them psychiatrists. Bha, please read the comment below. Fahim Khan Rajpar,
Yeah.
what is he saying?
Bro, I wouldn't suggest anyone to see a shrink or what we call them psychiatrist. I had only one episode couple years of ago,
Hmm.
but overcome by myself cause no one know about your strength and weakness than yourself. For me to see a shrink is a waste of money. All right, we can talk about American. It's been running in their families for so many ages. For them, it's mandatory to meet a shrink and share your insecurities.
I would like to
I somewhat
answer.
disagree.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
I
go
want
ahead.
to ask you something, Fahim. In America, it's easily accessible. That's why even the families find out. Here, our families never even see one, so we can't really judge on the basis of that, can we? And Rahi
Definitely
baat,
not.
exactly. In Rahi baat, we are wasting our money on a mental health. That's exactly why I'm here for. You can ask me. I don't feel like it's the money wasted. I think it's the money that I am spending to make myself feel good at the end of the day. And I do feel really better after it.
Yeah, yeah. And I would like to quote something from this research paper. He's a psychiatrist, Inamullah Ansari. All right, and he's a lawyer too in the criminal defense under drug crimes. Okay, so I want to quote something from his paper, and then I think this is going to answer us why we feel it ashamed of wasting money in something like that. He says in Pakistan, majority of psychiatric patients go to traditional faith healers and religious healers who believe that mental health illness is caused by supernatural forces as spirit possessions or testing by God. So they feel like, okay, it is something in our faith that we are getting, or it's a test. So we should not seek help. We try to relax, do some prayers, and that is gonna heal ourselves. So people who really heal themselves, it is good because probably they don't require medical help. They're not up to that level. Then
And
this,
that is a certain manner that is working out for you, but does not work out for everyone.
yeah, it's not a general because definitely when they say 26, 34% was the latest. 34% of the total population is suffering from mental health issues. So definitely you're nowhere there. It is just 0.001% or something like that. So people do take it as a punishment or a supernatural demon, things like that. This is the issue that we are having, and definitely someday try to arrange somebody who definitely should you know speak to somebody that these things, I mean, we lack such awareness that we go to a peer or something like that. Somebody's here.
Yeah, my friend, she's playing with my dog, so I just covered the mic so you couldn't hear all the weird noises she was
No, that's
making.
all. Yeah, yeah. No, now the let's talk about some of the basic. What do you say? issues or the problems that
Can you hold up? I want to answer Asad Rajpar, Jogi Asad Rajpar. Can anyone easily die through not sleeping properly? Asad, we are not professionals. Please seek help and drop a message in my inbox. We could talk about it, and then maybe it will be better. So we can figure it out. I don't know how anyone dies, but we can always make it better.
through not sleeping properly. It is not normal, Asad. You should sleep.
Yeah, you should because you have a sleep cycle, so, and again, like I told you, we're not professionals. We cannot tell you that, but you do realize that sleeping is a pattern that we need to follow, and if you're not getting it, there's definitely something not right. So just
Yeah.
go
So
get
while we
yourself
are
checked.
waiting for Bin Laila to give us reasons, I
Mm-hmm.
have something in his paper, Inamullah Ansari, that he
Mm-hmm.
says that mental health Pakistan believes that incidence and prevalence of mental disorder in Pakistan is tremendously growing, and the background of growing is insecurity, poverty, violence, terrorism, economical problems, political uncertainty, unemployment, stressful
Mm-hmm.
working conditions, gender discrimination, unhealthy physical ill health, genetics, genetical factors, and unrestricted urbanization distribution. Now, urbanization distribution, you can relate to that when we say, oh, this city has more quota than us when it comes to studies, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to employment. So the people that if they lack the merit or the seats or something like that, the admissions, definitely they suffer from. So these are the common issues that he has given in his paper. So I can totally agree to him that definitely it covers a lot of things. Not only applies to all of them. Okay, so
But
he
please
says
read this
अकेलो
Sindhi
वही
comment.
पंहिंजे पाण. Yeah, he says अदा अकेलो वेही पंहिंजे पाण सां ॻाल्हाइण मोनोलॉग mental health
Mental
में
health
fall
में
करे थो
for.
छा. Monologue, I don't know what monologue is.
I'm not sure. Your camera just switched. Sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, going. Okay, so wait. Asad, I think 3 hours. No, it's not. Come on, we all know that.
Three
Eight
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
8 hours is what we should be getting in a day. It's not normal.
Okay, so Bin Lala says
Oh.
something.
Yeah.
Going to Baba and Peer is due to lack of knowledge and education that what we need to change bit by bit, reaching more and more people and make them understand that this is an illness which destroys your physical health also. We agree to that. I would like to share 8 main reasons why people do not seek help for mental health issues. PhD studies. Number 1, fear and shame. Number 2, lack of knowledge. Number 3, lack of self realization. Number 4, lack of trust on therapists and medicines. I agree to that. I mean, in the whole world, we don't even trust the doctors at all. Now, this is a psychiatrist therapist. Definitely, there is a lack of um, what do you say, trust that this
It's so
therapist will
easy.
help me.
I will cut you down in a middle, and I'll be like, when you go see a therapist, you basically sign a contract,
Yeah,
and you do not even start before doing that. You have to sign it before you start, and you can read it out clear that every single thing you say is going to remain confidential. Nothing goes out of that room,
yeah,
and practically therapist doesn't even exist in real life because you can't really get in touch with them other than your appointment.
right. So number 5, hopelessness. Number 6, unavailability of therapists or clinics, definitely. Number 7, lack of time. And number 8 is feeling incomplete, self blaming. Yes, this is what I was telling from the paper, self blaming, or people think it's a curse. it's a punishment of God that we are suffering from this mental health issue. We should not go and seek help. Youngsters, children's, you must have seen a lot of children in Pakistan. I don't know why we don't see it often here in America, because they definitely go get therapy and they are getting better and better. They're not running around on the roads having this mental disorder and just talking to somebody that we can't see. So we are
Hmm.
not saying that it is wrong or something like that. Don't go beyond that. But what I'm telling, we don't see those people here in USA. But I can see those people in Pakistan. Why? Because they self-blame themselves, or maybe their parents self-blame themselves. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's lack of awareness, frankly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you did like Ali Tariq wrote down the stats of it. There is definitely even the educated lot is not even aware of it sometimes. They would
yeah,
instantly call upon you like, "Oh, why are you wasting your money on a therapist?" I'm like,
yeah,
what? Why would you say that? I'm like, I go get a haircut every week, and this is my haircut. When I come back from it, I feel fresh, I feel good about myself, so that's what I'm doing it for. And
yeah,
they don't know you deep down. And I think they are usually the kind of people who are running away from things. Because
yeah, yeah, definitely.
if they were accepting enough, they would sit down with you, speak to you about it, and then decide whatever they want to. The first thing you tell them, oh, therapy, they're like, no, please, bye.
Yeah,
so, so it's lack of awareness. I think earlier I said it's education. It's not even education. I think it's the awareness that people don't even understand what it is, what the whole thing is about. And
yeah. They have this
go.
assumption of this shame factor, the
Yeah,
shame factor, the prestige.
good part is that nowadays we have celebrities talking about it, celebrities sharing their own experiences. For instance, I think Momina Mustasin spoke about it, the Coke Studio singer. Um, Deepika
Yeah,
Padukone, she has started a whole organization, and
yeah,
she has gotten better. She usually speaks about it. So I think, or even in that direction, people are like, oh no, they just want something to be on camera for and stuff like that. So they are doing
yeah.
it.
No, I mean they're already on camera. Why would they come from a
Exactly.
different
Why would
perspective?
what does Deepika Padukone need? She
Yeah,
has everything. Yeah. So that's the thing. I think it's lack of awareness that there is. Fahim Rajpar is saying something again. I would really like to answer him. Please, can you read it out?
yeah. Fahim Khan says, "Bro, I can ask you same paper questions, which shrink's gonna ask you. All right. After asking those questions, I will come up with some conclusion where you, as a patient, lack the according to your mental health issues. Wait. Uh, I will come up with a conclusion where you, as a patient, lack according to your mental health issue. They will quote all those bookish solutions, or maybe quote you Einstein, William Word, Sherlock Holmes, or even I don't know who's that, Archibald Crane. Now, as so-called mental health patient, what you need is to open up with someone else. The rage, the anger which is consuming you from inside, you have to let it out. Now in Pakistan, we can't share this with our family. I agree with you on that, but you must have one good friend, that childhood friend with whom you can share anything. He or she can be best shrink for you, and it would.
Fahim, this conversation was all about breaking this taboo. I want to ask you something. I know that you can ask me or ask Aliba the same questions that they ask us. Or now I'm going to put you in a situation. I'm a photographer. I give you a camera and then you give it back to me. Who is going to produce better work? Me, because I'm a professional in my field. They study, they put in time to sort of get a hang of it. It's not just questions, it's not your evaluation, it's not that one friend that you need. There are a lot of things that you really can't talk to your even the bachpan ka friend about because you don't know how they are going to perceive. And
Yeah, it's not one-sided.
frankly,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, how, and it's not anger all the time, it's not rage all the time. I don't know,
Well,
it's
Fahim,
just,
I would say, see, therapists are the doctors, the same doctors that we go to every on our everyday life, right? When we have an issue, we go to doctor, right? When we see, okay, we are having headache, why can't we just take a discipline and just don't go to a doctor? We have people like that. We have people claiming that, oh, in my 20 years of life, I haven't been to a doctor. And that's not something prestige to brag about because it is something that they have lack of awareness or lack of trust on the people. So it's just an exceptional case that yes, it's not making the doctors bad, it's making the patients bad who are not even acknowledging that there is an issue. And once they will have an issue, definitely why don't you just do what Google says? You know, when you have a foot pain, when you have a heart pain, you know we are having an heart attack. Why are you going to a doctor? You know that you are having an heart attack. Take home remedies. Why are you going to a doctor? Why would you go to a therapist for, a physical therapy? Oh, my bone is broken up or things like that. Why would you go? Definitely it's going to fix it one day. Just sit down at home. You're going there for a cure that you think that there is a problem. If you don't think that you have a problem, definitely you don't go. That is what the taboo is. Okay.
nowadays we observe people are so much addictive to mobile,
No, before
especially
that
as
we
I
have
said,
Alvera. No,
Facebook,
prior to
and
that,
then I can't read the comment.
yeah, before Asad we have Alvera saying, it's not monologue. Monologue is something else. Talking to oneself is okay. Yeah, so Asad Jogi, please, panjo paansa galainda kayo. Talk to yourself. This is not something you have to worry about. Um, okay, so he has something again to ask. Nowadays, we observe people are so much addictive to the mobile. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Fahad? Okay. So Asad Jogi says nowadays we observe people are so much addictive to mobile, especially checking Facebook status before and after sleep. During eating, they do same, and again during office hours, oftenly check Facebook. These are some Facebook addictions. Examples of Facebook addictions. Okay. What is
I
addiction?
don't think it's really relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the role of SPA in mental health cure? What is an SPA? I don't know what is SPA.
Yeah, same. I don't know it either.
Yeah. As I
Asad,
said in the
I
disclaimer,
need to tell
probably
you
it was.
something.
Yeah.
Bro, we're
No, I
not
put a disclaimer.
professionals here.
Yeah, definitely. In
Okay.
my last video, we had technical
Yeah.
issues. I put a
Okay.
disclaimer of 3 minutes that we are not professionals, we are not experts. We are here to
Great.
share the story. We
Yeah.
come from a background where we really lack acknowledgement of these issues. And our family thinks that this is a shame, prestige issues, and all that. We go to a Baba rather than a doctor. We go to a Kumbhar rather than, going to a chiropractor. So these are the things definitely we lack. So we trust
Aren't those
Baba who's
who Kumbhar? What do they do?
they fix your bones.
Okay. Yeah.
They sit
How
right
come
right below the bridge and all that. No, you must see. I have been to Kumbhar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they will tell you, okay, this
This.
is what it is, this is what it is, this is gonna take some time. They will put you some medicine. Definitely, they are helpful. They are not doing something bad. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, the very first thing why we go there because we can afford them. That
Mm-hmm.
is the main cause of people. We say lack of awareness. Why? Because they think, oh, going to a doctor in Karachi is more expensive than going to a doctor in Palidan, because definitely we can save some travel expense going to a big hospital and all that. When it comes to when you are about to die, oh, let's go to Karachi because that is the only way.
Karachi khana hai bhai.
Karachi, Karachi, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how things are and all that. So, and thank you for having me read all these articles. I've been reading these research papers and all that. And I've been seeing a lot of tremendous statistics that people have, and they are doing research. And when we say we are alone, we only think from our perspective, but when we go and read about it, we see that, oh, we are nobody, because what people are suffering is more than us, and what we conquered is nothing.
For him, I think your interaction with therapist wasn't good, but can you please read it out? Why can't I read it? What phone do you have?
I have a good phone.
I have an iPhone, okay? Please don't put me
That's what
down
I said.
like that.
I have a better phone. Okay, so when Nana
Yeah.
says to Fahim Rajpar, I think your interaction with therapist wasn't good, but you can't judge the entire therapist community. There are many good therapists who actually help people with their issues. Definitely, I agree to that. This is not
And this is
something
not a
which
one person thing, you know. If you don't find one doctor good, you go to another. Then you go to another.
yeah.
Why do you think? Why do you think? Why do you give up so easily? First of all, you're not getting my point, Fahad. Bro, youngster these days can share nudes with. Can you please read out?
Okay, so he says, first of all, you're not getting my point, Fahad. Bro, youngsters these days can share nudes with girlfriend, but you feel ashamed talk with chuddy childhood friend. Amazing. What is chuddy childhood friend going to cure me? How is it? He's just gonna listen to me.
I'll tell you one thing, Fahim. You know, there is consent, there is choice. If someone is sharing nudes, that's a choice that they make. Then coming down to your chuddy friend, he is not going to give you a professional way, and he's not going to take you on that road where you actually feel like there is an end to it. Talking to them about same issues again and again and again, I think I've been through the same thing where you will end up talking to a friend like, oh my god, I'm so sad, but that never ends. You do eventually require professional help to kind of get a hold of yourself. They don't really do anything, they don't shock you, but you just get better. Yeah, and
See, if Asad Jogi is my childhood buddy and he's asking me, I can't sleep, I'm gonna tell him, go sleep, stop talking to me in the night time, go and have some sleep.
yeah. No, but Asad, that was a joke. But on other end, you should actually go seek help, and it's not a psychiatrist that you need. You can even go see a general physician close to you, and you can tell them about your issue because 3 hours of sleep is not normal, not at all. It's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
Oh, Ali, bro, come on,
You
you
know,
can.
Fahad,
First of all, you're not getting Ali, bro, come on, you can. What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. He must have writing something else. So, Fahad, I wanted to
Okay.
add something. In USA, there is a day,
Mm-hmm.
10th of October. I don't know if it's world recognized, but in
It
USA,
is.
it is called. It is
Mm.
Mental Health
Yeah.
Awareness Day.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. Oh, awesome, awesome. I didn't know about that. Cool, cool. So, you have any more questions from anyone? You would like to say something, Fahad?
I wanted to say something, I just forgot, so I'm just gonna take a little while and think about it again.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No issues with that. We can take questions, and I can read more of my highlighted ones. So yeah, you should read this. I'm gonna share the links with all of
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
maybe in the
sure.
comment section. One is Inamullah Ansari. He is a criminal defense lawyer in drug crime, and he's a psychiatrist. And we have Maham Javed. She's a psychiatrist journalist. So she writes her research paper on psychopath therapy, things like that. The taboos that we have in our rural areas. People will call you mad, or they will try to label you, something like that. So we have a lot of things, but definitely we have certain community or minority which is out of that dilemma. They really acknowledge things.
Uh,
They wanted to say something and share something about it.
the the biggest one is, in fact, it's not even one, it's two. One is this Baba related, the other one is when you confuse mental health with the religion. You do get a lot कि आप अल्लाह से दूर हो गए हैं,
Yeah.
but that's not a fact. Like I pray, I fast, and sometimes I I also pray to him to take this away, but you got to do something about it. Nothing comes in easy. If you pray to God that give me 100K and you don't do anything about it, the 100K is not going to knock at your door.
Right. It's something called counseling, right? Therapist does the counseling. Fahim is trying to refer something which which we can give a definition or conclusion that it's a counseling that you are referring to, perhaps. And counseling is something which is being encouraged from many years ago. It's not about this, century, but if you read about the life of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Sahaba Karam come to Prophet ﷺ and sit with him and do counseling. They wanted to share something with them, and he's the one who's counseling them. So this counseling, talking both ways, sharing ideas definitely are helping. But definitely when it comes to a medical treatment, it is not going to help from the counseling. So what you are saying, you can ask questions. I'm going to ask you from the personal side. Definitely you are a therapist then, Fahim. And definitely you should start a clinic, perhaps. I'm just saying
What
this
what
also.
is he saying? Ali, bro, you should know it well. I think my phone is bad, so you read it out to me.
Okay, Ali bro, you should know it well. I think that friend will surprise you with his sixth sense. Then your shrink don't underestimate that. Or don't underestimate that buddy. So
Fahim,
probably yeah, definitely yeah, yeah.
I have something for you. I would really want to talk to you personally. So send me a friend request and we can talk about it. Because I think there is, I would really like to know what you're thinking. It's just that maybe I come up with something and maybe you get a little better about what knowledge I have. So we can, in the exchange of knowledge, let's share it because at this point it's a little confusing. It's like a counter, which this life is not about.
Yeah, it's
So
it's a
yeah,
deadlock, I would say.
yeah,
He
yeah.
also says I help so many girls, trust me. So definitely, yeah, help this boy out named Fahad. Call him or text him, and he
I
needs your help
am online.
about so many girls, especially.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so let's
yeah,
stick to the relevant topic, and then yeah, talk to Fahad.
Alvera
Probably
is
when you
saying
can.
this was the most interesting live session with so many cuts. More power to you, brothers.
Yeah, thank you, sister. She's an upcoming doctor. Just go see her. Don't underestimate the power of a common doctor. So that's what I would say. Yeah, definitely. So Vera's doing good. When Leila contributed, everyone who contributed, and definitely hats off to you, Fahad. First thing, I'm definitely proud of you, and I am inspired, and I can say that I'm proud of you. Reason why it takes a lot of courage. If I were you, I would have not talked on the issue that okay, I gone through it, I conquered it, this is how I conquered it, and I want to speak about it, and I'm ready to answer about it, in the society and the culture that we live in, because we share the same uh, grounds. So definitely I salute you for that. Thank you so much for coming and
Thank
sharing
you,
this.
thank you, thank you so much for letting me, letting me share this knowledge onto your channel, and it was really great talking about it. And I think yes, it takes a lot of courage, but once you go through the process of self care,
Yeah,
everything is a lot easier. Then you
yeah,
put yourself first, and that's when everything else fades out in the ground, in the background, and you're like, okay, if I have gotten better, a lot more can, and if with my knowledge people can get better and they can heal themselves, so why not? So I think
yeah,
this is the first time I was spoken about it on social media, and I do talk to a lot of my friends, and a lot of them are convinced that they're seeking help. So I think I'm just like I told you in the last session कि जितना knowledge आपको मिलता है you should pass it on
yeah,
and
yeah,
it will eventually do better. So it's working out like that. And I would really like to add one thing. My name is Fahad Rajpar. My Facebook is tagged in this link. Um, so feel free to message me if you have anything related to mental health illness to ask me about. Again, I'm not a professional, but I can always share my experience, and maybe that will give you confidence to speak about it. And I'll be available.
Definitely, you can guide them very well. This is the therapist I went through. These are the expenses that I had to bear. The, these were the timelines between my sessions, my therapies. These were the medications I took. These were the side effects I was told, and nothing happened. This was the nutrition told to me while having these medicines and all that. So you really have a real time experience to share with them. And I would encourage all the audience, even though after this live session, if you see this and watch this video, do ask Fahad for such relevant questions. Don't just say that you're not an expert, so you lack on something, or you missed this or you missed that. Definitely, we missed a lot of the things, but we wanted to share his side of the story, how he conquered this dilemma or mental illness that we say. It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it is something that we should be proud of, saying that yes, we had it and we conquered it. Alhamdulillah. So, Fahim, yeah, just help Jogi Asad. He's going through insomnia. Maybe he has diagnosed himself. So Fahim is the online guru. Probably you. I'm just joking, bro. Just take it on a lighter note. So we have Fahad and we have Jogi. Both the boys needs your help. You have helped a lot of girls. So definitely help these boys out. Um, uh,
First of all, I want to
yeah.
suggest you do. I want to suggest you a movie. Go watch Dear Zindagi. It has Shah Rukh Khan and Alia Bhatt in it. Amazing movie. Might as well broaden your horizon and get you out of the cocoon you're living in, Fahim. So, then do let me know how you feel about it.
Yeah, yeah. Mashallah, no, if, Fahim, I encourage, I mean, I appreciate your comments and I appreciate your information that you're sharing. Definitely, we also need some counter questions. We don't need just one directional. Definitely, that keeps the session going, and that, you know, keeps us telling yeah, that we might lack something or we have a different opinion. But this is not our personal opinion, I wanted to say. This is
Yeah.
the fact. These are the statistics. This is the whole world is speaking about it. So we are just one entity that we are trying to share the story. We have thousands of stories and we have better stories to share. Definitely. So yeah, I would say thank you all the audience. If you have no more questions, just ask direct questions and relevant questions to Fahad. Don't bother him much. He's a busy guy. He has taken out time for me, for you guys, just to share this story, and let's encourage him and be proud of him. So Fahad, thank you
It's
so
okay.
much.
We're good. Yeah. I was just reading
Yeah.
comments and I'm like, no, it's fine.
Now it's going into a funny conversation, and definitely it's a good
Yeah.
thing. But when we will
Yeah.
have an open Q&A session, definitely we can have a lot of fun on this. But let's keep this
Yeah.
short on the relevant topic. I appreciate all the sisters who came and joined and shared their information. I really have high regards for all of them, and high regards to you, Fahad, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Inshallah,
Thank you so much.
and we'll see you somewhere soon on any other session or maybe somewhere in life. Definitely. Jazakallah for
Inshallah.
coming.
Thank you.
All right, friends. So this was Fahad Rajpar from Karachi. He was sharing his story, how he conquered his issue, and how he went about it. He shared his story. So definitely do go and give him a thumbs up. He did a wonderful job explaining. And we are not the experts, as we said. This is just a project that I work on, me, myself, Muhammad Ali Rajpar, my partner SME Rajpar, on this Taaleem For You platform, where we bring in all the people who have their stories, who have done something on educational side. This was the same guest that we had in our second session, because he had an educational side, and then definitely this was the most educational session that we can have, a productive one on health. And definitely we have a lot to cover. So stay tuned on Taaleem For You. If you have not subscribed, if you have not joined the Taaleem For You group, do join it. If you have not shared this video, do share it and like the page. And we will see you guys in the next videos with more educational awareness and all that. So thank you everyone.